Hi, hello, welcome back. So, it is a new video about CPT case scenario for CPC exam. Okay, so in CPC exam, we will be getting case scenarios as the last 10 questions. So, here we are going to discuss few questions. Out of that, I have taken one question which I thought like it will be little bit confusing. So, we'll have a detailed discussion about this question here. So you can clearly understand what is the complete rationale for this question. So before entering into the question, if you haven't subscribed my channel, please do subscribe, and if you find it useful, please do share it with your friends also. And we have CPC crash course as well as CPC course, and if you have already taken up the training and looking for crash, you can join with us. So the question here is: location regional hospital, type of procedure abdominal aortic angiogram, mesenteric artery angiogram. History: mesenteric ischemia. Informed consent: the procedure was discussed with the patient and his wife. The risk including bleeding, infection and vascular injuries such as dissection, perforation, thrombus and embolus were outlined. Informed consent was obtained. Contrast 123 ml, ultravis 370. And the continuation of this question is given in the second slide. So don't skip, because you should read each line very clearly in case of case scenarios. Then only it will be easy for you to code. So we will be seeing the continuation. Description of the procedure. The patient's right groin was sterilely prepared and draped. The skin and subcutaneous tissue were anesthetized with 2% lidocaine. The right common femoral artery was then percutaneously assessed, and a wire advanced into the abdominal aorta under fluoroscopic visualization. A A5 French vascular sheath was placed into the right groin. An omniflex catheter was advanced to the upper abdominal aorta. Digital subtraction angiography of the abdominal aorta was performed. It demonstrates mild tortuosity of the aorta. The caliber is normal. A single renal artery is seen bilaterally without stenosis. The common iliac vessels are present. The omniflex catheter was then exchanged for a Cobra 2 catheter. The superior mesenteric artery was then selectively catheterized. Digital subtraction angiography was performed in multiple obliques. The origin is patent. No fecal stenosis or branch occlusions are identified. Next, the celiac artery was selectively catheterized. Digital subtraction angiography was performed in two obliquities. The origin is performed. No focal stenosis or branch occlusion are present. Next attempts were made to catheter the inferior mesenteric artery with Cobra 2 catheter. This was unsuccessful. Selective catheterization of inferior mesenteric artery was achieved with the Siemens 2 catheter. Digital subtraction angiography was then performed in two obliquities. The origin is present. No stenosis or branch occlusions are present. The Siemens 2 catheter was removed was the right groin sheath over area. Hemostasis in the right groin was then achieved using a angiosyl closure device. So this is the question. Read the question twice. So impression is: normal abdominal aortic angiogram and mesenteric angiogram of selective catheterization of the celiac, superior mesenteric and inferior mesenteric arteries. What are the CPT and ICD-10-CM codes reported for this service? So this is all about the question. If you have practiced the mock questions, you might have come across this question also. And it is in the radiology part. It is from radiology part. So read the question twice and understand, because these are the questions which are repeatedly asked in the CPC exam. So if you read the question 2 times or 3 times, you will have a clear idea. So when you come across the same question at the time of exam, you will have a proper knowledge like how to choose the code and how to selectively answer for it. So now we are going to enter into the rational part of this question. So whenever we are answering for a CPC mock, you will get only 2 minutes for answering the question. You can't take more than 2 minutes for that particular question. So whenever you are practicing chapter wise questions or mock question. You have to understand, you have to read 3 or 4 times, and then you have to understand the question, like what procedure is done, what I have to code, what is a key point used there, everything you should understand properly, then only you have to find out the code. So when you're practicing it proper way at the time of training and during the CPC exam, that will be completely easy for you. Without practicing and having a proper knowledge, it will be very difficult. So here, to accurately determine the CPT code and ICD-10-CM, let's break down the service into like this. CPT code, first we will be giving 36245, that is selective catheter placement, arterial system, first order, abdominal, pelvic or lower extremity with vascular family. And 36245 59 modifier, here 59 modifier is used for additional selective catheter placement. And 75726 and 26 modifier, here angiography selective of visceral artery, each vessel studied under radiological supervision and interpretation. That's why we are adding 26 modifier along with the radiology code. 75726, 26 modifier and 59 modifier is given because for additional angiography procedure we are using the modifier here. And the ICD-10-CM code given is K55.1, that is chronic mesenteric ischemia. Now you will be having a confusion like why 26 modifier is given along with the CPT code. As well as to choose the correct CPT code for the cardiovascular part, you have to go through the appendix L. There you will have a vascular family. Then you will understand like how to choose the first order, second order and third order code. Since the artery is placed inside the first order, we have given the first order code here. And then 26 modifier, why it is added, I will give a detailed explanation for that in the next slide. So here 36245, this code is used for the catheter placement into the first order branch, superior mesenteric artery, celiac artery and inferior mesenteric artery. Since 3 separate arteries were catheterized, this code is listed 3 times. So then modifier 59 is applied on the second and third instances of 36245 to indicate that these two are distinct procedural. 75726 along with 26 modifier is used for angiography performed on each vessel. The professional component is indicated by modifier 26, that is interpretation and report. Modifier 59 indicates additional angiography services are distinct procedural services. This is a clear rationale for this question. And ICD-10-CM K55.1 is used for chronic mesenteric ischemia. Next, as I told you, you will be having a doubt why modifier 26 is used here. Modifier 26 is used to indicate the professional component of the service, which refers to the physician's interpretation of the diagnostic study and the creation of the report. In the scenario, 75726 is the angiography procedure code and modifier 26 specifies that the code pertains only to the interpretation of the report, not the technical component, that is use of the equipment. Here only interpretation is happening because when you see the code in CPT book 75726, in that itself it is given supervision and interpretation is included. So you are reporting that. Modifier 26 is used to indicate that only professional component of a procedure is being reported. The professional component involves a physician's interpretation and report of the result of the diagnostic test rather than the technical component, which includes the equipment, supplies and technical staff. Why modifier 26 is used in this case? Because the procedure is involved both performing the angiography technical component and interpretation of the report, that is professional component. Here the code provided for angiography need to indicate that it is professional component only. If you see the breakdown, 75726 is for angiography selective of the visceral artery, each vessel studied, radiological supervision and interpretation. That's why we are using modifier 26 professional component. So technical component in the case, this includes the use of equipment, the cost of material and the support staff who performs the procedure. Professional component means this include the physician time, expertise and interpretation of the result. The physician examines the image produced during the angiography, interprets this image and creates a report of this findings. Since the code is having supervision and interpretation, that's why we are adding 26 modifier along with the radiology code. So this hope so you have understood it. And finally, summary of the code is 36245 is for placement of catheter in superior mesenteric artery, and 3624559 is for placement of catheter in the celiac artery. 3624559 is for placement of catheter in the inferior mesenteric artery, and 75726 is for angiography, and it includes supervision and interpretation. That's why we are adding 26 modifier, and again 75726 along with 26 and 59 modifier for additional vessels professional component. These codes collectively describes the entire procedure, the catheter placement in each of the three arteries and the corresponding angiographies with professional interpretation of the images. So that's all about this question. This is one of the confusing questions. Mostly we will be having a doubt like how to report this answer. So this is all about. Hope you people have understood it, and if you have any doubts you can put it as a comment also. Before that, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe my channel and please do share it with your friends also. Take care. Wish you all the best for your CPC exam. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.